Okay, this one you see now, we've still got the shims in here. We've got it all lined up so we could glue the spider back down. We've caught the areas where we had these cracks. And they weren't quite cracked all the way through yet, but they were beginning. And then I noticed there's another one right here, so we'll get right on that one. We'll smooth that out in a second. But there's something else here I want to show you. There again, because these old glue beads, now there's not enough form sticking up here for me to reinforce this bead on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in under here, hope you can see this, and right where the spider and the cone and voice coil come together, I'm going to get in there with my long nozzle, and I'm going to put a glue bead, and I'm going to put it all the way around there. And I've already tested to make sure my spider is still down and still where it needs to be. And then I'm going to come back across the spider. There again, I'm going to do this all the way around. And this is just a final seal to make sure nothing tries to lift up, especially if it catches a hard transient or something. But I'm going to do this all the way around to seal that spider to that spider landing. And I'm going to take this bead all the way around, and then I'm going to get in there with my brush, and I'm going to smooth this out all the way around. And this is going to seal that joint between the cone and the spider, and make sure when that glue doesn't start to break loose and vibrate. This will help hold it together for several more years now. So then when all that dries, then we'll do like we did. We'll pull the shims and we'll re-glue the dust cap into place. Okay, we've already done this before. We're going to do it again to show you, but we've got the spider re-glued, voice coil realigned, pulling the shims out. Now before I glue the dust cap down, and you can see I left it, I didn't cut it all the way off, so it's easier to get it realigned if you don't cut it all the way off. But I'm holding it up a little bit. Now I know this is probably going to shock you here, but you know, we've got to sweep this speaker with a tone generator through its operating range to make sure that none of that crap got down in the gap and we don't have any buzzes or anything, which, you know, we've already done that too. But I wanted to show you something, because this is probably going to freak you out and people are going to tell you you can't do this. Look where my generator's set right now. It's set at about 7-8 hertz. Alright, now watch what happens when we give it some gas. Okay, now you're probably going to have people tell you can't do this to a guitar speaker. It's not made to operate at 8 cycles per second. But I want to make it move completely through its operating range to make sure that there's no buzzes or rubs or ticks or anything. And so I'm going to run it to its maximum excursion, and I need that low freak to do that. So you saw it sitting at about 8 hertz. I move the cone at its maximum excursion, and I'll listen for any buzzes, rubs, or ticks or anything. And like I said, we've already swept this all the way through the higher ranges, so we know we're good. And so what we're going to do now, get it disconnected from the generator, we're going to reattach the dust cap. Alright, so I haven't removed it all the way, and it's going to set back down right where it goes. You might, if you can get in there a little bit better. And then right where I get it where I want it, I'm going to use a weight. This happens to be a phase plug out of a compression driver. Makes a good weight. It's got the right shape and the right weight. And then I'll line this up, get it right in the middle of my turntable. And I'm going to use this water-based adhesive that we use for a lot of stuff. It's a liquid latex, basically. And I'm going to go as light as I can, because I don't want to add any more mass into this area. But most of this will evaporate when the water base evaporates off of it. And then I take my brush, which is sitting here in water, so it's wet, and I'll wipe off the excessive water. And then I'll get my brush right down in here. Very light pressure on the brush. And I'll move this around because I want it to work right, but I also want it to look nice. So get that spread around, and then I'm going to make sure I wash up here to the edge of the original dust cap flange, because there again, that's an old glue bead. It gets corrupted and I don't want it to talk. So there we go. Alright, now we'll let that